guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the Rugged Wisdom YouTube channel. My name is Sean, and today I want to talk about something that's actually really important to me. So, sorry for the delay from this video, uh, from posting this video since the last one. I've actually filmed this video quite a few times, but I haven't been impressed with the quality that I would like for it to be. So I wasn't impressed with kind of just the talking points and some of the things that were mentioned. And so I've been kind of trying to play around with this topic for a little bit to try and figure out how it is that I really wanted to word it to best kind of get my point across in a 15-minute or less manner. So I thank y'all for being patient with me. One thing that I would really like to go over today is how a hobby can change your life. Now, I know this might sound to be hyperbolic. I know this thing sound exaggerated, but let me explain. So, when you have a hobby, I believe that you can have two categories of hobbies. There's probably a lot more different categories, but I'd like to go over the two that made a difference in my life personally. I have a hobby that allows me to escape, and I have a hobby that allows me to unwind. Now, some people those can be one and the same. Some people might have two or three that they can rotate in order to relax and calm down. And I think that's great. I think the real issue is when you have none at all. Let me explain. For using me as a personal example, my two hobbies is bourbon. Sounds like a crazy hobby, right? Let me explain. I like bourbon because I get to collect really cool, interesting bottles, put them on a shelf. I get to take that bottle off the shelf. I get to pour me a glass. I try to usually keep it to a single glass. And in the process of me enjoying this glass of bourbon, it allows me to stop, turn off my phone, turn off the world around me. A lot of times I like to go outside, weather permitting, sit under the stars, and just enjoy this glass of bourbon and think about everything that might be troubling me. Work through all the issues that I have in my mind that I've built up from the days or the weeks prior. It allows me to sit there and focus and to work through my problems in a safe space. Now, I understand if this is new to you, you might have to learn how to do that, or it might not feel right the first time, and it didn't for me either. But I could tell that it made a difference. And when I could tell that it made a difference, it really motivated me to try and keep going. Now I've gotten a lot better at it. I'm not perfect. I have days where I come back in after enjoying my glass of bourbon and it feels like I really didn't work through much. But in the long term, I know I did. I might have knocked out some smaller things that were bothering me, or I might have a great day where I'll go out there with some major things on my mind and able to work through them and process them. Now, also being a man of faith, I also like to discuss these things with the man upstairs a little bit while I am enjoying this glass of bourbon, and I think that helps me as well. But if you're not a man of faith, and that's completely okay. I think this hobby, or I think this type of hobby, can still be useful to you. Now, I do want to stress that the hobby in itself is not the bourbon. That is my vehicle, that is my vessel in order to achieve the zen that I have. Obviously, if you have a problem drinking or you just don't want to drink, it's against your values, beliefs, or just something you don't want to do, then I completely understand and that's okay. I would recommend that you find something that you do like to consume. I think when you're consuming something, I think it allows you to take a moment and to relax and to be in the moment with that thing, whatever it is that you're consuming. And then you can also use that as a time to really kind of break through and work through what you're going through. Whether that be a cup of coffee at 6 o'clock in the morning watching the sunrise, or some nighttime tea, or a bag of popcorn with some M&Ms in it. Like whatever it is that your jam, just have that moment where you can enjoy, indulge, and kind of process through some issues, right? Also, when I'm drinking bourbon, I don't have to think about what my hand's doing. My hand's holding the glass. All right, everybody's hand can hold a glass. And so my mind can really just delve into whatever it is that is going through my noggin. All right, little wiggy break. That was a lot of talking. Back to a lot more talking. So, with that being said, I do want to mention that I have a second type of hobby. And I like to mention this because my bourbon is great because it allows me to process things. But what if I don't want to process in a moment? What if I just want to kind of escape? Now, I'm a firm believer in the fact that I don't think fitness, general fitness, is a hobby. I think if you have a niche thing that you like to do, I think that could be a good hobby. But I think fitness is ultimately a responsibility, a necessity. I'm not perfect at it. I'm trying to get better. But I do think that that is a necessity, not a hobby. So I think maybe if you have something that you're specifically interested in, like marathon kayaking, yeah, that's probably a hobby. Um, but if you're just going to the gym, doing a couple weights, a couple kettlebell swings, I don't know if I'd necessarily consider that a hobby. I think that's more of a responsibility or a necessity. With that being said, I think it is good to have physical hobbies that allow you to get outside, that force you to meet people, that force you to burn some calories, and force you to use your noggin in a way that also allows you to not use your brain as much. And for me, that's archery. I love archery. I love shooting at targets. I also bow hunt. Bow hunt is a whole nother level into the hobby. Some people would even say it maybe something a little bit different, but I like both. I like target shooting. I like going in my backyard, putting uh, flinging some arrows down range. I mean, I enjoy that, and in that moment, I can, in fact, take that moment to turn my brain off to the world around me because I mean, to the sense that you still want to be safe. You still want to know what's around you. You know, if a dog runs in front of your target, you don't want to be so far gone that you still send it, right? Oh, poor Rover, right? But at the same time, it's something that's muscle memory at this point for me. So I can go, I'd say up to about 40 yards. After 40 yards, I'm definitely going to start locking in a lot more to what it is that I'm doing. But like 0 to 40 shooting with a compound bow, or even with my wood bow, is uh, is a pretty routine thing, you know. So as long as your area, or as you're saying EMS, as long as your scene is safe, then go for it. Pull it back, send it down, throw in some tunes, and just be lost from the world. And it honestly too is like if you are in this hobby and the only thing that you are thinking about is this hobby, I think you could still consider that being turned off from the world. Like I can get behind my bow and only think about my bow. Think about the noises it's making. Think about the tension. Is the string twisting a funny direction? Is it doing something different? Like I can really lock into my bow in that moment when I am shooting it. And it just really allows me to have that time where the world really isn't creeping into my head. I do think we need to be present in this world, that we have responsibilities to a lot of the people that we love and to those around us. But I don't think we should be so wrapped up in the world that we don't even know how to escape it sometimes. I thank everyone who has stayed and listened to me talk up until this point. I really appreciate it. Um, if I have earned a subscription from you, please hit that subscribe button. Send me a like. I would love some positivity with each other in the comments. But if there's anything you see that I could do better, anything that you want to comment on, please let me know down below. And I have one last point to make. The reason why I think this is so important and why the loss of hobbies is detrimental to society is because think about men without hobbies. Think about men without doing something to get rid of all this extra energy and all this extra testosterone that we have. What are we going to do? We're going to pick up our cellular devices We're going to scroll, scroll, scroll. We're going to look up and it's 5 hours later. And what did we achieve? People say, oh, well, social media has cooking recipes and tips and tricks. But after 6 hours of scrolling through short clips and short video consumption, what do we really take away? Like, we save recipes for later. Why do we save them for later? Because we're ingesting so much that we can't even remember what it is that we just watched. How many times have you saved something for later? You forgot you saved it for later. And then 6 months, you're going through your saved for laters. It's talking from YouTube sense. I don't have TikTok. And you see something that you completely forgot you put in that list, right? So I think why it's so important for us as young men, older men, just men in general. And I know it's hard for me to speak for all men because there's so many great men out there, and I'm just some knucklehead, honestly. And but I think the reason why it's so important for men to have hobbies is because it allows us to disperse our energy. It allows us to extend our creative resources that we have. Men are problem solvers, men are doers, right? And so when we have hobbies, it forces us to problem solve. It forces us to do things. It forces us to step out of our comfort zone. And so I think that is why it's so important and so detrimental for men to have hobbies. And I think to have two, well, one that you can use to work through your problems and to work through the world, and I think one hobby to escape from the world. I think if you can just nail those two basic things, like I said, if you have 14 hobbies and you can make time for them all and you can afford them all, hey, good on you. But I think if you can just get these two basic ones down, I think you'll find dramatic improvements in your life. All right, guys, thank you for watching, and please catch me next time. Peace be with you.